What's a small lie you told that snowballed so much you had to keep it up? When I was 24, I was basically a walking disaster. I'd been rejected from Target, Walmart, even the gas station down the street. I was sleeping in my beat-up Honda Civic after losing my apartment and had like $12 to my name. So when I saw this job posting for a receptionist at this fancy law firm downtown, I figured what the hell, right? The posting said, bilingual preferred, and without thinking, I just checked the Spanish box. I mean, I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. How hard could it be? The interview was with this older lady in a sharp suit who looked like she could buy and sell me 10 times over. Everything was going fine until she smiled and said something in Spanish. I panicked and mumbled the only thing I could remember. Me llamo Elija y me gusta la pizza. She laughed and said, good enough. Our Spanish-speaking clients will love having someone who understands their culture. I thought for sure they'd figure it out on day one. But turns out all I had to do was answer phones and look professional. Most of the Spanish-speaking clients brought their own translators anyway. Whenever someone called speaking Spanish, I'd put them on hold and frantically use Google Translate to figure out what they wanted. Un momento, por favor, became my best friend. This went on for months. I started watching Spanish soap operas at night in my car, trying to pick up phrases. I downloaded Duolingo and did lessons during lunch breaks. I even befriended Rosa at the coffee shop and practiced ordering in Spanish until she got annoyed with me. Then everything went sideways. One of the firm's biggest clients, an old guy named Miguel, who owned half the restaurants in the city, passed away suddenly. His widow only spoke Spanish and was devastated. And somehow, because I was the bilingual guy, they assigned me to be the translator at his funeral. I begged my boss to let someone else do it. This is huge, Elijah. It shows how much we trust you, she said. There was no backing out without blowing my cover. The night before the funeral, I didn't sleep at all. I used every translation app I could find, watched YouTube videos about funeral phrases, even called my friend's mom who was from Mexico to practice what I might need to say. But when the actual day came, I was sweating through my only good suit. The service was packed. Lawyers, business owners, family members, everyone staring at me like I was supposed to be some expert. The widow, dressed in black, was clutching an urn with her husband's ashes. The priest started talking, and I was doing okay translating the basic stuff. Then she broke down. She walked to the front, holding that urn, and started sobbing these rapid, emotional words in Spanish. Everyone turned to look at me. The whole room went quiet except for her crying. I froze. I didn't understand half of what she was saying. She was talking about memories, about love, about forgiveness, but it was all mixed up with grief and tears. So I did the only thing I could think of. I translated what I thought she meant to say. She says Miguel was the love of her life, I started, making my voice soft and respectful. She says he taught her that love isn't perfect, but it's always worth fighting for. She forgives him for the times he worked too late, and she hopes he forgives her for the times she was too proud to say she was sorry. I kept going, adding things that felt right, about how he made her laugh when she was sad, how he always saved the last piece of cake for her, how their love story wasn't ending, just changing. The whole room was crying. Even the lawyer who hired me had tears in his eyes. When I finished, the widow walked over and grabbed my hands. She whispered something in Spanish that I still didn't understand, but I could tell it was grateful and heartfelt. I just nodded and squeezed her hands back. After the service, everyone kept coming up to thank me. That was beautiful, they said. You really captured her heart. I felt like the biggest fraud in the world, but also weirdly proud that I'd helped this woman share her love story. Back at the office Monday morning, my boss called me in. Elijah, that was incredible work at the funeral. We're promoting you to full-time translator with a raise. My stomach dropped. A promotion meant more responsibility, more Spanish, more chances to get caught. But here's the crazy part. That night, I signed up for real Spanish classes at the community college. I studied harder than I ever had in my life. I practiced with Rosa until she became my unofficial tutor. I watched Spanish news, read Spanish books, even started thinking in Spanish sometimes. 6 months later, I was actually fluent. A year after that, I was one of the best translators in the city.